Welcome to United Network News, the official news channel for CARE, the Center for Amity and Restoration of Earth. I'm Sunny Galt. At UNN, you get the real news. Through our field messengers, we show you the truth about what's really taking place in our communities. We also bring you stories to help you remember who you are and why you're here, as well as regional stories that impact the people. And our World Situation Report reveals what's happening throughout the multiverse. We are here to restore Earth. Want the latest updates from UNN? Be sure to follow our channel on Telegram called United Network News Channel. This is our official Telegram channel, and it's where you'll find direct links to our newscasts and our in-depth field messenger reports. And we would also like to introduce you to CARE's newly ratified Health and Wellness Department. You can connect with the Center for Health and Wellness of Earth, or CHWE community, by joining the Telegram channel. Simply search for Center for Health Wellness of Earth and join the conversation today. And now, the World Situation Report with Kimberly Gogan from the Office of the Guardian. Late last night, Chinese deep state declared war on all of humanity and ground command. The legions, the coalition, the enforcer, and ground command retaliated. The deep state was hoping for a windfall after the declaration of war, and the opposite happened. Find out more in today's report. As of Monday, the financial system has changed forever. A debt-based system using humans as collateral is gone. Welcome to a gold-backed asset-based system. Gogan with the Office of the Guardian. Hello, Kim.
Hello, Miss Sunny. Today, happy Wednesday. We have a lot to talk about today. It has been a busy 48 hours, so brace yourself here. I am aware, as all of you are, about the talks that they were going to launch Disease X today at the World Economic Forum. Now, this was a very real situation that presented itself yesterday, and I'll tell you exactly how it worked out. China has been sending out ships with cargo. This is China's deep state. And the cargo contained canteens or canisters of Disease X. And they intended on spreading this all around the world. Now, why no one, and I mean no one, not the U.S. military, not anybody else's military, questioned why there were so many ships coming from China on the borders, right offshore, actually. So let me give you the locations of all these ships that are no longer there. 171 on the west coast of USA, 68 on the east coast of the United States, 14 in the Gulf, 14 on the west side of Mexico, 18 on the east side of Mexico. The southern tip, I should say, of Brazil, right around the area of Brazil and Uruguay, there were 21 ships. Off the coast of Peru, 49. Off the coast of Nova Scotia, 24. In the Persian Gulf, off the coast of Iran, Iraq, and Saudi Arabia, there were 6. In the English Channel between France and the UK, there were 5. East coast of South Africa, 29. The Black Sea, 18 in the sea, and 14 had already arrived at the port in Ukraine.
Wow.
China. Let's talk about China. In the area around the Three Gorges Dam, there are several mountains. You wouldn't call some of them are not large mountains, but they are mountains. In those mountains was the source of everything that was contained in those canisters. Mm-hmm. And why was everybody so concerned, on social media about a year or so ago about something happening with the Three Gorges Dam in China? And the Q report, was reporting, look at the water, the Three Gorges Dam sits on one of the largest rivers in all of China called the Yangtze River, also called the Yellow River. If that had actually happened, there were almost 2 million pools of this that would have flooded throughout the country.
Wow.
So the light and I'm going to call it slight because it is compared to what could have happened, uptick in disease X in China right now, was just a test. They have no regard for their own citizens over there. They don't care who they make sick, as long as, their XXX program, is pulled off. Between Finland and Russia, there were 27 ships. Off the coast of Japan, 32. The east side of India in the Bengal Bay, all the way through to Malaysia, 49 additional ones. In Australia, there were about 16 and 2 located offshore in New Zealand. So they really had intended on killing us all today. God bless them. And I'll tell you about the events to come. Now, last night, China's deep state declared war against humanity and me. I'm also part of humanity, but okay. Because the facility in China no longer being around, the enforcer took care of that facility, the large facility around Three Gorges Dam, and we took care of all the ships. After our news on Monday, we also had an uprising of an army, about maybe 12,000 or so strong, if not more, coming from the scholars in Iraq. Well, the scholars in Iraq are actually on our side.
Right.
So what they have done is they have formed their own intricate network over the years to eventually go against what they consider to be the false prophets and those following the false prophets. So this is like their private little army that came to light, and as there was a call to arms on Monday. So they began pushing back against the deep state, and not only Iraq, but also in Syria, in the Gaza Strip, in the entire region. China has pushed back through their business partners, such as the Taliban, and their Green Dragon contacts in Iran. And there has been a few skirmishes over the last 48 hours due to this. Once we traced back where the orders were coming from, it was abundantly clear on what's to do next. And this happened overnight. So in the course of declaring war against all of humanity and myself, they have decided to issue 2 contracts out on me last night, and I'm aware of it. What a contract is, it's a contract out for either assassination or some kind of task that would be used against me in some way. They were offering $10 million for capture and containment of me. Additionally, if they managed to deliver me to China, to them, which is what they preferred, the price for that would be $100 million. Now, I suspect they did this because they were expecting a windfall today based on the fact that they filed for several different types of declaration of war last night, all of which were rejected. Do I want to declare war against myself? Probably not. Do I want there to be a war against all of humanity? Probably not. But as of around 2 or 3 o'clock this morning, my time, about 2:30, 2:45, we actually declared war officially against the deep state. And by deep state, I'm not talking about presidents and heads of state and military people or any of these people. We are talking about the Merovingian bloodline. We are talking about the Cain bloodline. Now, it's every man for himself. So what does that mean? If you were the one and you participated in giving orders to spread disease X throughout the world, you are now dead, and so on and so forth. Now, there are other people that happen to be of these bloodlines that are not participating in any of this. It's all about the intent. Okay. So by 4 a.m. this morning, my time, there was a meeting between myself, the coalitions, the legions, and the enforcer, where we discussed a plan forward on how we were going to do this. The plans were laid out. I'm sorry, but I can't disclose the intricate details of said plan on the internet at this time because it is in process. And then everybody began dispersing to their respective locations to perform their respective tasks underneath this war. Now, so for my part, I have sent out a message to every military and every agency in the world. I no longer care to do business with these people as a whole. I'm sorry, I just don't. At this point, it was a warning. It was a warning shot over the bow. I have explained to them that there is a war, and it was declared this morning. I explained to them that it's every man for himself or herself. In other words, if you participate with China's orders, China's deep state, the Li family, the Rothschild family, or anyone else, the order of any dragon, color, insert color here, if you participate against humanity and or myself, you will no longer breathe. There is no trial for treason. There is no cease and desist. We ordered them to immediately stand down because they were still going at it. You don't stand down, there will be consequences, and I use the term repeatedly, extreme prejudice. You know, I gave them orders about what's going on in the Middle East, orders about, what's happening in Russia and Ukraine right now, orders regarding, obviously, Israel and the Gaza Strip, and every single one of them got it. It was on a diplomatic line. Therefore, it's recorded in the Hall of Records. So if you happen to not be at work today, maybe you've got the flu or disease X or something, and you're in China, then you can go to the Hall of Records and you can get your copy from your local archivist because it's recorded. There's no excuses here, no deny, reassess, blame. I know how the game works. I'm not playing with you anymore. By the time that this war is done, there will be no more infiltration of the deep state in any organization worldwide. Now, people will say, oh, the governments, get the politicians. I've heard all of these stories from you. But again, I'm going to repeat myself. They are actors in a movie. They may be arrogant, rude, disgusting humans in some cases, as we've seen in videos that have circulated around the internet from politicians, not only from the United States, but from China to Russia to the Middle East. We've seen it all. We know the rituals. We know what happens. But right now, it's going to stop at the operative level. Because the operatives are the ones that provide them with the children. The operatives are the ones that arrange for all the deals that are being made. Davos here is no exception. Operatives at Davos are in for a real treat today and have been in for a real treat. So there is no backing down now. There is no going backwards. And there was a second part to this that happened. Remember, under the declaration that happened a few months back of us being under global martial law, the Global Intelligence Agency is the administrator. Now, what does that mean? That means we are the ones that will handle the war on our side. That means we are responsible for the weapons. We are responsible for all commerce related to war. So, what China's deep state and Langley 5 and all the agencies and the Treasury departments thought would happen last night when China declared war is they thought they were all getting paid. Sorry to be yelling, but I'm just like, this is so ridiculous. But what happened was exactly the opposite. The Global Intelligence Agency got paid, with myself as the director of the Global Intelligence Agency. Enormous amounts of cash came flooding into an account in the front office, and everybody saw it, for me, not you. Because I'm the administrator. Now, what happened after that is they tried calling every contact they know that could reach out to me. Tried to get me to turn it over to them. They should be in charge of all of the operatives. The 15 militaries took up shop underneath in the old facility that hasn't functioned in forever, underneath Wells Fargo Bank in San Francisco, and it's called screen scraping. You know, to try to use the account as collateral, issue a letter of credit, do anything and everything against the account, to the point where I finally just had to hide it.
Yeah.
It's still there. I just have it hidden at the moment because these people are crazy. Mm-hmm. The old things that they used to do not work anymore. Further to that effect, some other, I have to think of a nice word here because I'm so frustrated with these people this morning. It's beyond all recognition here. So these Trump operatives tried to install Trump bucks off the Global Intelligence Agency money this morning. And then they made a phone call to someone who knows me. And then when they couldn't do it, they asked for permission. Can you call her and get her permission? No, you cannot have it. I don't care if, no, you made your bed, you lie in it. I don't care who you promised what. I know the Ukraine administration and president, they all have Trump bucks. The ex-KGB in Ukraine all has Trump bucks, and they've been waiting to cash them in. Well, you're going to have to deal with it and figure it out. You better sell some more Christmas ornaments and jackets. That's all I got to say for you. All right, next. Now the good news.
Okay.
On Monday afternoon, we successfully completed the gold backing, and I'm going to have to try to explain this because I don't have my whiteboard. Obviously, today I didn't have time. Hopefully Friday. The gold backing of the entire financial system.
Okay.
What this means is at the highest level in the financial system and in all systems worldwide, we had at one point in time, back in the day, we had Alpha and Omega. Omega was the dark system, Alpha was the light system. So if you're new here, let me just clarify that. The Alpha system was always the giver of all energy, and that never ended. The Omega system became the ultimate lender for the entire financial system. Therefore, everyone that participated in the financial system, directly and indirectly, was indebted to the Omega system. And this is how we got all those bindings that I talked about last week. Now, what has changed is you are no longer human collateral to support a deep state financial system. By replacing you in the system with the veins of gold and earth, we are now able to conduct energy directly from source, consciousness, and essence to not only your human, but also within the monetary system. Over time, and it's going to take, I don't know how long, my guess would be a few days, you will actually no longer be under threat for 5G weapons and frequency weapons because they simply won't work in the telecommunication system of Earth.
Wow. Okay.
So there's a lot of things I just wanted to point out, the benefits of having a gold-backed planet, where that is are used as a conductor, not so much as collateral. You know, the old QFS people started talking about, the non-existent QFS people, to be honest with you, started talking about a gold-backed currency. That's not what this is about. By using all of the gold and earth to back all electronics worldwide and not you and your energy, because the Omega system doesn't create anything. It only draws energy from us good little batteries, all humans are batteries, and then uses it to run. So it cannot function. This is what true free energy looks like, in a negative way and both in a positive way. Over time, this should actually allow for a different electric system of Earth. different modes of transportation, gravitational changes. There are positive things that will come to you personally as these reconnections are established. The bindings that were on you prevented you from doing a lot of these things, and also from receiving real, unencumbered, non-altered source energy directly, also known as money. Now, what people, and I'm saying people like people at the Treasury Department, people at Langley 5, people within any financial system, banks or otherwise, were very confused about by Monday afternoon around 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time is, where are all the debt instruments going? What happened here? So on a government level, they were seeing all of these IOUs we've been talking about now for months that are coming from the government to pay its bills. They saw them all go away. They're not an asset anymore. Because the way a government issues bonds, I know in some cases it looks like they are against the good faith of the U.S. government. But it's not. It's because each government took ownership of their portion of the collateral, aka its citizens. So for that reason, they were issuing bonds against the base root bonds that have existed for thousands of years. When that collateral was changed out, all of the bonds started just leaving the system and all their derivatives from them. Now, what does this mean to you? I don't want you to be confused, okay? Eventually, this will mean that your car loan or your mortgage is not an asset to the bank anymore. The reprogramming, which we were doing this morning, because this is still an ongoing process here of cleanup, the reprogramming of payment systems and how they function in an asset-based system. So the base coding of the entire financial system worldwide is changing. This morning we were also working on the master encryption keys, not only for banking systems and security certificates, but also for the internet worldwide based platform, and also for the telecommunications based platform. So if you go into your phone and you look at security certificates, you'll see people in there from China and Japan and all kinds of different places. Entrust is another big one that was owned by the Clintons. That's where all those things come from, which gives them backdoor access to your phone, to your communications. So those platforms have all begun to change over to the key integrated monetary system, encryption system, and security certificate system, and the key integrated media system, encryption systems. That means that they won't have backdoors to your phones and so on and so forth.
You know, I can't remember if it was Monday or when we were talking about like our refrigerator can see us. So there's all these different ways they can see us in our home. Is that related to that as well?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes, it is. These systems are being broken down because they're not needed. They're not necessary.
Good.
It also is things like what we call a hit list or a blacklist, where, you know, all of a sudden your bank account closes and you really don't know why, and they don't tell you why. They just say they're going to close it because you're a citizen that might be going against the system. It changes that. That's no longer there. Several other changes as far as payment restrictions. You know, there are accounts that will only permit so much money into them and that kind of thing. And then also people are capped. You know, there is a glass ceiling, or was a glass ceiling, to what you could or could not do if you weren't part of the good old boys club.
Oh, see, I never got close to that ceiling. So
Yeah. Yeah, you got to get up there pretty high, you know, to hit that glass ceiling where you're either invited to be a member or you're tossed out, or you end up with a CIA handler unbeknownst to yourself that could take you out at any time, you and your company. So there's a lot of positive changes that are taking place now financially, telecommunications-wise, surveillance worldwide. This also goes for the TV programs where you're sent the underlying frequencies and those types of things. The old media trust programs are going away. So it takes a little while to reverse out all that Omega had done and had inserted into our worldwide systems, but it's coming along just fine. The gold has been helping a lot. And we're just merely picking off things that don't need to be here anymore.
Can this, Kim, also impact like censorship, like if it's due to algorithms and things like that? You were mentioning media and things online. So that's by this as well?
Yes, they use master encryption keys. So encryption keys in computer systems look almost like let's call it a Christmas tree. Okay. So at the top you have the star. And if you have the star, which is the base root encryption key for the entire internet, say, like, for example, like the NSA would have had and the CIA would have had, then you had access to all the branches and everything underneath it, which would be like your N trusts and all the other security certificate providers, VeriSign, you name it, anything that you would see as a double verification, bank codes, they would have had backdoor access to all of it. Mm-hmm. Any platform you would see as encrypted, Apple Pay, you name it. Once those were pulled at the top, it takes a little while to replicate them and take out the back doors, on down the food chain. But yes, this is how they accessed your refrigerator and your television set. And all of these things had master encryption keys and security certificates. Your router, your Wi-Fi problems. Notice how we're not having any problems today like we had on Monday. There's Sunny.
I know. It's so true. We haven't had any of that today.
Monday was a nightmare trying to record the news.
Yep.
Today it's smooth as glass.
Yeah.
And that's not just because my face is not on camera. I didn't break the camera, I promise.
Oh, you didn't.
But, it is getting better and better on our side and worse for them. So I know everybody gets very anxious, especially our American friends. You can't just go through a drive-through and order the elimination of the deep state, and then 5 minutes later they hand you your receipt and say thank you for your purchase. It doesn't work that way. This takes all hands on deck, all boots on the ground to make it happen. And they are going full force. The enforcer has been everywhere today. We have the Sky Command in full force. Let's just say a strategy that we had devised in the morning. I mean, I don't even know if they lasted 5 minutes underneath Wells Fargo today. That didn't work out. So we are on it worldwide. They are on it. We are on it. I'm doing my part. They're doing their part. And we're working together to make it all happen. But the declaration of war against us last night, that was it.
Yeah.
You hit the done button there. So war you asked for, war you've got it.
And how long, I mean, it's war, I get it, right? But we obviously have a lot of support. So how long do you think this would last? This is a very short-term thing because there's so many beings helping us in this process?
Define short-term.
Yeah.
They've been torturing us for thousands of years. Define short. I'm hoping, I'm an American too. I'm hoping that by the end of the day, everything would be rosy. But I can't say that is the case. So I will keep you updated between now and Friday as to everyone's progress and when the war is finally over and the flags are down. But as of right now, we keep adding people to the list.
Yeah.
Because they make poor life choices.
And do you think this is going to impact like the on the ground wars and stuff that we're seeing as well? Like, I mean, are we aiming for stop all of it? Stop Israel, Gaza, stop Ukraine, Russia, stop. Lay down your weapons, you're done.
Yes. That the orders to stand down went out this morning. If you do not stand down and you continue to order strikes and missile strikes and everything else, you will be terminated. You personally and the person that told you to do it. So I highly suggest you rethink what you're going to do and make better life choices so that you'll continue to exist.
I feel like this is the last stand. This is the final stand.
Well, you know, there's a lot of people also being targeted for treason. This is what they're doing on their side. We don't target. If you're targeted, you're a target. As an example, Blinken is now currently has elected to go into a safe house in Davos. And it's not going to help you any.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing safe. You are on planet Earth. You are not safe. We can get you anywhere. So that is the current update in the state of the world. I know it's kind of a short report today, but as you can tell, I'm probably a little bit busy.
A lot going on. Yeah.
Which is why I didn't make it to see you today, or for you to see me today. There's a lot of work to do in the next couple of days, and this all started, like I said, between 2 and 3 o'clock this morning, my time. But it's going very well. You know, zero tolerance and extreme prejudice.
I know there's a lot of people out there going, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Let's get that show on the road.
Yeah, we're not
restoration to do.
Yeah. It was a line from a movie somewhere. We don't negotiate with terrorists. The United States doesn't negotiate with terrorists. Did you see that movie? What was it?
I don't know what movie it was. That's been in my house a lot. My husband says
one with a woman president at the end.
Woman president.
Yeah.
Not House of Cards. You're not thinking of House of Cards.
No.
Glenn Close?
No. Charlize Theron is in it.
Oh. I don't know. Someone will tell us in the threads.
Yeah, someone will tell us. Someone will fill us in. Yeah. But yeah, she ends up going out to a party with her friend there in the movie, and they have a little bit of something at a party, and she comes back and she tells, I think it was Iran or something. She's the Secretary of State at the time, and she comes back in and she says, we don't negotiate with presidents. But she's a little tipsy, so she goes, but we do negotiate with our homies. It's funny. It's a great movie. The Long Shot. I think it's called The Long Shot.
Oh, The Long
Great
Shot.
Movie. It's really funny. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, the Global Intelligence Agency does not negotiate with terrorists. So yeah. We're done. That's the world situation report for today. It's going to, events are unfolding every minute. That I'm sitting here, talking to you about the news. And so I got to get back to it.
Okay, go back to work. We look forward to Friday's update. Thank you.
Me too.
All right. That wraps up today's news update. Please share UNN with your friends and family. We need everyone to come together and help restore our planet. When news happens in your area, record it and share it with us so we can help you share it with the world. Remember, if it's going to be, it's up to me. I'm Sunny Galt. Join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for the real news.